shine. Gonna be here in no time now. Bad times, gray skies. Push them all away, turn them upside down. You're gonna break new ground. Turn everything around. You're gonna live your life. There's a beautiful...
Oh, I missed my start. Alright, welcome back to the Booga Box live stream. Kind of had a little blackness there for a second. I thought I was going to be quicker in getting my other things set up, so it is a large project Thursday. Even though last Thursday and this Thursday we're working on kind of two smaller inlays, I did finish up the one inlay that I was working on last week. We'll try to put it out here. Cameras don't pick it up real well at the end. That's not too bad, I guess. Let me see if I can get it a little further there. This treble clef. I guess it's only... let me see if I can grab my ruler here. Well, it's only about 3.5 inches wide. It's not real wide by about 11.5 tall. It's just about the size of a piece of paper tall. So it's not huge, but you know, it's a nice little piece. Nice little accent piece somebody could have. So, yeah. One screen it looks horrible, the other screen it looks pretty decent. Doesn't that figure? So I finished this up after last Thursday night. I got it done Thursday night, last Thursday, during large project night after the stream. And I was going to do another one in just a different color. And then I decided to kind of stay in the same theme of things, but a little different. I went ahead and I've already made my holder for it up top. And we'll slide it on up in here. So I'm working here on a bass clef. And it's a little wider. I put my stick back up. Call it a stick even though it's metal. So this one roughly is about 5.5 inches wide. Will be a little shorter. We've only got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more lines, I believe, to do to finish it up. So we should be able to finish it up in the stream tonight. That's what I kind of planned on. I could have gotten it finished before the stream tonight, but I was like, no, I need to hold off. So once I got everything kind of set up a few hours ago, I did a little bit. I think I got 2 more lines in. And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to have to stop or I won't get it done. Oh, hey Janice. Good to see you again. Good to see you. So we're just going to continue working on this, finish this up tonight. Once I get done, I'll flip the camera over to my side camera here and pull out one of my whiteboards and kind of hang it down on that so we can see it over here on this camera. That one, yeah. But we'll make it into a large one. It's large project night, but before we start, I got to bring out old Duck and Nana so he can get his airtime. Hope you're having a good Thursday, Janice. So, we're just going to go ahead and get started on this puppy. Hopefully get her finished up tonight, like I said. It should have enough time in the stream to get it done, but... let's get that going. Let's see which way we're going. We're going left or right. So, it's been a kind of a rainy Thursday here. Didn't really do much outside today, but, you know, it was cooler. Even though humidity's thick, so it doesn't feel all that much cooler. Still sweat going out there, but so hope you are too. Oh yeah, always a good day when I get some chainmail in. Though tomorrow I probably won't get much in because tomorrow's laser day, so I'll be working on some tumblers I got ordered. I gotta get those going. Alright, who let the fly in? Cats must open the door and I didn't hear it. I oiled up the door hinges and now none of them squeak when they open anymore, so I can't hear when the cats open the door. I guess that's the downside to making them less squeaky. I had the outside door and then the inside door both had a squeak, so I went through and made them non-squeaky earlier this morning. And yeah, they'd come in and out a few times and I didn't notice because I was so used to hearing the squeak of the door. So we're going to finish this one up tonight. Next Thursday we'll be working on the chessboard. I keep wanting to call it checkerboard. And they're basically the same. I've got all the wire and everything I need. I'm going to be curling it. I'll be coiling it up on Saturday. Hopefully get it cut on Saturday too, so I can get them through the tumbler. Because I'll have probably a good 7-8 hours of tumbler time to go through, get them all cleaned up and ready for weaving. It's kind of an inlay, but not, I mean, nothing spectacular inlay, but it is an inlay nonetheless. But we'll be doing a European 6-in-1 on that, so it'll be a little bigger rings, but a tighter weave. And I might go ahead and pull out the old Batman checkerboard and set that I've made up before. I've still got it, and I might pull it out and give it a look-see, give you the idea of what we're going for the chessboard. And like I said, eventually I'm going to make up my own chess pieces. I just need to get the full designs done on them. I've got pawns made up, got my bishops made up, got an idea for the rest. I got some bases made up for the rest, but working up to the top, you know, I've had a few, not necessarily setbacks, but just I didn't like how it was coming together, so it's like, oh, time to try to go for a different design to come up with that. So eventually I'll get those done for it, but I have a nice heavy weighted set of chess pieces that I'm going to use for it. They're bronze and silver, so I'm going to make the board bronze and silver. Take a little while for the board though to get the patina look that you're going to want to match fully with the pieces, but you know, that's going to be what it is. I could make it go faster, but yeah, it'll slowly get there over time. And you know, I might have it for a while, might not, who knows, you know. I've had my checkerboard for a while. They're a little more expensive because inlays are more expensive, but they're kind of fun to have there. I mean, I've had a lot of people always wanting to play some checkers whenever I've had the checkerboard set up at events. Now we'll have the chess out. That'll be longer games if I end up playing any of those, but and I'm not sure how long it'll take. I forgot. I think it took me like about 28 hours. I think for the last one that I did, the Batman checkerboard. Now that did constitute building all the pieces, even though they were just round tags that I wrapped in a half full Persian 3-in-1 that leaves a gap in there so that you can wrap the round tag that I etched. And like I said, you know, those all that time I won't have to worry about this, so it might be several hours quicker than the last board, just because I won't have to do that on this. But then I'll have to add a lot of time to it once I add in the chess pieces themselves, because I think the pawns took me 2.5-3 hours, and I've only done a few of them so far. I haven't done them all. I just kind of got the idea. It started working, did a few, and then started working on trying to do others. Need to get back into it. I've had a lot less time for kind of playing around and researching, and I guess not really researching, but just, you know, trial error type thing. With doing the streams and everything, I've had less time for that, and then add in all the laser stuff now. You know, like I said, that takes up a little more time too. Normally, like Tuesdays and Fridays are my laser days. If I got laser orders, those are the 2 days I try to do them on. Hold off on any orders to get a bigger group of them, so I can make a day of it, because I hate taking an hour to get set up or two and do 1 or 2 items and then tear down. You know, much rather get it set up, get about 6-8 hours of laser time in, and then do the tear down. One day, if I ever get a carbon fiber laser, then that'll be a lot less of a hassle than the CO2 laser, but you know, CO2 laser is a lot cheaper than a carbon fiber laser. But then, like I said, Saturday I'm going to do my coiling and cutting. I've got to get out my chart so I can figure out how many rings of each I'm going to do, so then I can know how many coils I need to do, get, up. But I also have a bigger stack of just other coils that I've coiled up over the past couple weeks that I need to get cut up, so I'm going to do those two at the same time. Figure, it's easier to set up all that with the coolant and everything for the cutting of the coils. Try to do all that at once as much as possible. Pretty quick setup for coiling, but when it comes to the cutting, it takes a little more time. Almost had the right amount pulled out just to finish off this row, but go away, fly. I see you just bugging me over here. He's a slow one too. I could probably catch him. Every day, cat's gotta let something in or bring something in. No, I think the Marvel, she's caught most of her, baby moles. I haven't had a baby mole in about a week and a half now, so they must be coming scarce out there for her to find. Alright, ring count time. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, right? Yeah. And back onto this row. This is row 29, and we got 34 rows, so just a few more to finish up. Hopefully we can get it wrapped up and done tonight in the stream. That's what the plan was. If I don't, I'll be like, I knew I should have done one more row. Should have done 2 more rows before the stream. But each row is fairly quick on this compared to the last several larger inlays. So almost Thursdays have become inlay night. Almost, for the most part, because there's something I'm always wanting to do on an inlay. I've been wanting to do this one for a while. I have the other Chiefs inlays lined up and ready. I'm actually waiting on, for 2 of them, I'm waiting on certain colors. 2 others I'm not fully done with yet on the graphic side of things, on how exactly want it. And then one of them I haven't done at all because I need to wait till I get more done to see how much I'm actually going to need to fill, because I'm all guesstimating as I'm going along, trying to make it all work together. So that one I have to wait till I'm done with the other parts. But once it's done, it's going to be pretty cool, I think. But hopefully in the next month, I'm hoping, if I can't get my colors from my normal supplier, I might go with a slightly different one, but I don't want it to be too different in the color, so I gotta find something that's close. That'll work the way I want it to anyway. But we will be having our first event of the year coming up on the 31st of this month down in Smithville, the main square in Smithville. If you're a local ever watching this or watching video later or whatever, if you're local, we'll be down there. You can come check out the jersey, the Mahomes portrait picture inlay. They'll both be there, along with everything else, obviously. But I still need to get the trailer ready to take everything. It'll be the first time we've actually used trailer. We got it a while back, but then everything kind of started getting shut down before we could really use it, so been sitting there just waiting to use it to take to events. Should make you going to events a lot easier than trying to pack everything like a puzzle into the van to make it work. And some events, if they're close enough, I end up making 2 trips just because it's a little easier that way. But now I shouldn't have to worry about it with the trailer. So we should have pretty much everything out at the next event that we currently have. Sometimes when we do this, like I said, the further away events, sometimes I won't take exactly everything just because it was so hard to get in there. I got several lamps, shades, and all that, so they can take up room. You gotta be a little careful with, and the lamps to go along with them. So having the trailer will definitely help being able to get everything in there in one shot and bring everything. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. It's been a little while, actually, even before that, had everything at an event, because just couldn't get it all packed in there. So it'll be nice to get that going and done. See everything out. I want to try to get a test setup here done in the back. Get everything kind of pre-set up, see, because every time I go, it's always a different setup depending on what I bring. And then just trying different things all the time, see, you know, if something works better, where I can put more stuff out, etc. Alrighty, on to the 4 of these. So this is, I'm actually using the off red that I've got. They call it red, and it looks, it's okay red, I guess. The more I've used it, the more it's been okay, as long as it's just solid like this. But I can't mix it with any of the other normal red colors. If I try to do a graduated red, I can't do it because this size just looks so off against the other reds. But I figured I'd make a nice little thing for this, and I'll use up most of them for it, so I'll probably use the rest and do some type of keychains, or like I was working on the bookmarks yesterday, I might do up a couple bookmarks out of it. And then I'll have to order some more red, but hopefully it'll be actual red this time. I've got some others, but it's matte red, so you really can't, I mean, I can use it, but not as much as I can, you know, and when I'm doing cheap stuff. Since that's my colors I've always go to. Well, let me give a quick check on YouTube and Twitch. I don't see any messages over there. Yeah, but if you've got accounts over YouTube or Twitch or something, there's a link over here in our description for tonight's stream. You can go like us over there too, and add us and subscribe and like and all that stuff on there. The more we get everywhere, the better. The more likes we get on Facebook, the better. Actually, I've been reading some things about when you're liking on Facebook, just the thumbs up doesn't get their algorithms hit as well. You have to get a ton of them thumbs up for the algorithm to pick it up. But if you get even just a few hearts or any of the other emojis, for the most part, the algorithm will pick you up quicker that way. So give us the wow, that'll work, or heart, or whatever. I mean, even a thumbs up still better than nothing, so we'll take those all day if we need to. Get back under there. Get back over. These last two always are a pain to get this one in because they want to flip around on you. And this is row 29. I didn't look to see how. Oh, almost scared me to death. I had a box move on its own. Alrighty, so that row's done. Mark it off. On to row 30. So 5 more rows. P5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, and then we'll finish up with red. But I don't know, I've been halfway tempted. I might end up throwing up a quick stream on Saturday at some point while I'm doing my coiling and cutting. Just kind of depends. I always debate about it till it comes up time, and then it's like, do I want to throw it up there? Do I not? Kind of depends on how Saturday ends up playing out. As it'll take a little time to get a camera set up into that area, which is not too bad. I've got the cords and everything ready if I ever do. It's just a matter of it still takes a little more time to set up than it does for our normal nightlies here at this desk. So you might keep a lookout. Again, I don't even have a clue when I would be doing it. But, you know, just keep a lookout. We might pop up on Saturday with a stream. Who knows? Saturdays are always kind of iffy, just depending. If I was doing some big project that I was working on that needed to get done, I probably would. Other things, yeah. Depends on how the day is going. How much I have to make up from the week. Because there's never enough hours in the day, it seems like, no matter what I do. Because I will, tonight after this, I'll get pre-laser stuff done, but then I've got a couple hours. I got a few graphics I got to do for the band website. And I've got some, I'll just work on the website I need to get done, changing up some things, and I probably got about 7-8 hours worth of work to do on the band website this weekend at some point, so I figure I'd do some tonight, maybe some tomorrow night or whatnot after laser time, and then again on Sunday. But Saturday I plan on doing cut and coil day, and coil and cut day, I guess that's a better order. And I figure I probably got at least an hour of coiling and a little more cutting, probably a little more than 2 hours of cutting, just depends. Aluminum will go pretty good. I've actually never cut brass yet. I've done brass. I haven't done the bronze that I'm going to be working with, so it'll be first time cutting on the bronze. So it's pretty soft stuff too, so I imagine it shouldn't take too much longer than copper, if not the same as copper, yeah. Because copper's been pretty easy whenever I've done it, and brass. I guess I've done more copper than brass now that I think about it, because I've gone through 10 pounds of copper, 5 pounds of brass. I'll be working with another 5 pounds of bronze this time, so. And then countless stainless steel, but stainless steel always takes a lot longer to cut. You have to go so slow to feeding that in to the cutter. If you want good cuts anyway, and not dull up your blade so quickly. And I've got a ton of extra blades, but taking out and interchanging blade, that's, if I'm really working on it toughly, I can get it done in about 20-25 minutes. Normally I just plan on an hour to change over, because I'll do the breakdown, and then I end up doing some cleaning to everything since it's broke down, and then get the blade in. But the current one's been going pretty strong for a while. We'll see how it holds up to the brass. Or bronze. Keep getting them screwed up. That's why when I got ready to do this project, this is what I wanted to work on 2 weeks ago. Got into the cabinet and realized all I had in there was brass. I thought I had bronze in there, but all I had was brass, and then I had to make another order to get some in so I could do the bronze. It was a little funner doing the top section of this when there was so much changing in colors. I mean, yeah, it'd be a little more, detailed looking at, make sure you're getting them in the right spots, but changes up and get onto this red. It's just red, red, red. I've done so many red rings. I've probably done over 100,000 red rings here in the past year, if not 200,000 or more rings. I was actually thinking about that one day. I was like, is there a way I could figure out how many total rings that I've woven since I started the business? If you count before the business, I wouldn't even have a clue. Some of those things I've weaved and took apart, and it was all crap wire, so I ended up throwing a lot of it away at times after I got done playing, or broke them because I just played with them too many times. But since I started the business, I was like, I could go through and figure it up probably by seeing what I bought and everything like that, but it's like, wouldn't necessarily be a headache, but it would be a chore. But I thought about it, because I'm like, I'm sure I'm probably well over 1 million rings by now. Easily. But I'm like, how far over? Am I like a couple million in? Am I just over 1 million? Or what, but I mean, just in some of the bigger projects and inlays that I've done in the past just couple years alone, we're up to probably 500,000 rings easy. Not counting the hundreds of bracelets, the hundreds of earrings, the hundreds of necklaces. But I was kind of wondering, I was kind of interested thinking about it, going, one day I might, but you know, every day I wait is getting more and more to count. Because, yeah, we're, that was the 5, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay. Forgot to mark off my starter there. Got confused on which row I was on for a half a second. Alright, we need 24. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. There we go, and then 2. Now, let me grab a drink real quick. Yeah, we're only half an hour in here. I think we've done 3 rows. Roughly. I don't know. I'm just weaving until it gets done. Kind of what happens over here when I'm just working. It's like, how much have I done right now? I give you times, but how much I did during that time? Well, I mean, I can kind of figure it out grossly, or with a, you know, I have my normal per 4 and 1. I know about how average what it takes per ring time to weave a ring, so I can kind of get, that's how I base most of my things off. If I know a certain project's going to take X amount of rings, I know how, you know, whatever that weave is, what does it take for me to weave per ring per minute, rings per minute in it, that weave, so that's how I normally get a calculation on how long a project will take. I mean, some rings can take a little longer, some rings can be a little more pain in the butt. And, you know, during streaming, like I've always said, it's a little slower because I'm watching screens and looking around. Are you on Friday nights? No, not right now. I was there when I was doing the Chiefs flag. I was actually almost every night then. But I kind of took out Friday nights because here soon, when the band starts back up during football season, normally most of my Friday nights I'm out helping the band, so doing my video and all that. So I was like, I don't want to necessarily schedule one for Friday, but that could change if I get another large commissioned inlay or something like that that's going to take a little while. I will stream if they want it to be streamed, or if they don't care if I stream it or not, you know, so I can kind of show it. Then I'll probably go almost every night, or, you know, I took off a few nights here and there, but, you know, if it's some big commission piece and somebody wants to watch it be streamed, you know, I'm more than willing to put it on. Inlays are easier because they're something that I make up myself. Certain weaves I won't put on streams, just because they're somebody's design, that it's not a free availably design. I mean, most of those I figure out on my own anyway, but once I do, even before I take them to a show to sell, I'll get the tutorial that they're selling, just, you know, one, to see how close I was. Most of the time I'm pretty close to figuring it out on my own. Sometimes, you know, there's little tweaks in the tutorial that'll help you with it, but I didn't want to support the rest of the chainmailers out there that come up with designs on their own. And so those type weaves, which I've got a ton of those, that I just don't put on the streams. I mean, like I said, most people could figure them out anyway, but I don't want to accidentally call out a ring size, and that's more the giveaway, I guess. You know, some people like doing chainmail with tutorials and stuff. I have more fun just kind of working them, figuring them out on my own. Learn more that way. It seems like, to me anyway, it seems like I learn more that way. I'm just kind of playing, trying. Things get more into the memory banks, and just going by something that says use this size, weave it this way type thing. you know, then I'm just kind of following directions in a way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything like that, don't get me wrong. I do have my own tutorials out there too, so. And that's why I thought about doing some of the open weaves, maybe doing not a stream of them, but make up videos and have them on YouTube, and I guess I could put them on Facebook too. A tutorial how to do basic weaves, kind of show you how I kind of put them together, and more close-up shots and whatnot. But then I could do a lot more editing and get the parts that are needed, not, you know, sometimes my jibber jabbering and showing other things around, you know, type thing. But, you know, chainmail can be fun. But it is a very tedious thing. I find it a little kind of relaxing in a way. If I'm in a good mood, I can weave good. If I'm actually in a bad mood, I can actually weave good because it'll calm me down if I'm upset. Or middle moods is when it's not. I don't say I don't do as good, but I'm slower when I'm in the middle moods. I am slow starting off in a bad mood, but then it puts me in a good mood, and then weaving can start coming together pretty good. Is that one supposed to be one off? That's going through the last one, is that correct? Yeah, I guess so. Like I said, it will look different when you get the full stretch on it, just like all the other inlays. Now the next one will be a little different since it will always lay flat as a board, but it will also be a little tighter, being a European 6-in-1 weave, even though the rings are bigger. Probably won't even need that many, but oh well. I was going to ask about YouTube. Yeah, I've got the YouTube channel. I think it's in the link of this on the page in the description. I add it to Twitch and YouTube there, but you can look them up, the Booga Box, on YouTube and Twitch, and you can find us that way too, and subscribe that way. I know I get some viewers over there sometimes. I haven't really seen any comments through the YouTube. I have had comments through the Twitches, and obviously a lot more through Facebook. Depending on the night. And I think it depends on the project too. When I was working on the bigger things, I was always having a little more viewership dropping in to see, you know, a bigger inlay coming around. So you're done, row. Mark you off, 3 more to go. How much time we got? Oh yeah, we'll easily finish this up in time. I was worried about not finishing up in time, but yeah, 3 rows. We're only a little over half an hour in, so we might close up a little early tonight if I get it further along. Maybe I shouldn't have worked on the worked on it earlier today. I know these rows don't take very long, but I'm gonna need 2 for this one. So move those up there. 2 of those and finish out with red. I only got 1 more row of color anyway, or inlay part with the black ice. This is using the red and the black ice. I don't think I ever said that. And now I started talking about the red and totally forgot what I was talking about on what I was using. And this is using the standard 1/4 inch 16 gauge rings for my jersey. And the flag, I used square 1/4 inch round, so it was a little bit tighter even using those. Oops, that was only supposed to be 2. Remove. Alright, 2. And then, let me pull out for 2. I needed 3. There we go. Yeah, that's what I always have to double check. And with this kind of weave, you can go back through in the middle and fix and change if you have to. It's not as bad. The tighter weave, tighter it gets, smaller AR you get, definitely the harder it is to get in there and make any changes. I had a piece, I was using 3/16 16 gauge when I was making the W inlay for the Tonka, one Tonka band director, and I got it hanging up on the wall here. I got about 12 rows into it before I realized I was screwed up, and that weave is such a tight weave, you really can't go back in and change anything after you get into it, because it's just so tight. I mean, it's not super tight, but it's tight enough that you couldn't get in there and do any fixing if you have a screw up. But the board, the chessboard, will actually be 5/16 inch 16 gauge rings. But instead of 4-in-1, will be 6-in-1, so kind of going bigger, which would make it more open to weave, but then you're going 6-in-1, which actually shrinks it down a little less than what this is. It's a little tighter overall once you're kind of done. Has less stretch anyway. But yeah, we'll definitely have time tonight that I can get that board out. I was like, I want to get the board out and kind of show it off on the side camera and get a better angle of it for the camera. I'd like to set up, if I do get the garage ever built, I'm going to set up the area over here where I've got my other workbench as kind of a photography area that I can have a camera set up in and show pieces easier in that with better lighting and controlled atmosphere. I guess this is kind of controlled here, but the glare of this plastic mat sometimes gets in the way of what you can see, and having the background showing through, and you know, the white and the black kind of coming through at different times throws off pictures. So off there, that was a big old bunch, big old gaggle stuck together. That was more than a double stuck. It was like an octave stuck. I hope I'm within camera range over there. I'm not sure. I'm probably getting a little far down once I get down below the box. Now I put that paper under here just because I printed that out to see the logo before I sent in my business card graphic. And I printed it out and was like, well, now what am I going to do with it? It looks fine. And so I threw it under this, and it's actually worked out kind of good for doing the streams by accident, obviously, but it's also actually helped with some weaves. If I'm working with darker stuff like this, I can put it over the white paper and see it easier. If I'm working with brighter things like yellows and oranges and stuff, if I do that on the black side over here, I can see it better that way. So it's actually come in and been multi-purpose, even though it was just kind of a thing. Though I am half tempted to pull it out and put it in just a straight white piece of paper. But then again, it's like, well, it's showing the name, so though I'd put the name everywhere else too. Check my messages anywhere. Okay. I'll give a quick check again. So I watch one computer screen for Facebook messages, and then I'll have the other screen where I watch the stats of the stream itself, and then YouTube and Twitch are on the other screen here on the opposite side of me I have to look at. I can put them all together, but then I have to shrink everything down so much if somebody makes a big text, I have to scroll just to read, 2 sentences, so it's easier just to have it full screen over here on one. And one day I hope to kind of change that up too. A lot of people use those streaming sites where you can stream to multiple places, and like I said, I wanted to try it, but it wouldn't allow me to do my Facebook business page without paying money for it, and I just was like, I just don't think my stream is worth that right now. So at some point, if I start getting more and more viewers, it might be easier to go that route so I can get all my things into one. Then there are some options where you can have all your chat show up to the other chats out on the screen so people can read it from other sources. You know, if you're watching YouTube, you'll be able to see the Facebook text when people make comments on that, or vice versa type thing, which I'd like to have, but like I said, that just requires a little more than what I'm willing to right now for it. You know, I am just doing it for fun, but it's good when people show up. I'd still be working on this stuff either way. Though, you know, I gotta tell all the family, hey, I'm getting ready to stream, so keep it down. Don't come running in the room making noise. Even though sometimes when they watch it, they'll be up there laughing and screaming at something stupid I do or something I say. Especially when I'm tattling on them for something silly they did that made me laugh that I have to tell the story of. Which, haven't had too many here lately, but when they're older like that, you don't see them as often. Other than the boy, but, you know, he had his transplant 2 years ago now, I think. I just had a thing come up on Facebook. It was just a few weeks ago. It would have been 2 years from his transplant. He's doing well. Pretty much back to normal. He doesn't watch my stream, so I can talk about him here for a little bit. He doesn't like us talking about him, so. But I mean, it's been 5-6 years since he went into kidney failure. So he was in dialysis and all that stuff for 3 to 4 years before finally got a transplant going. But it's taken well, and he's pretty much back to normal for the most part. Still building up strength in a little bit. I mean, when you're out for that many years and basically can't do anything, muscles went to crap. Alrighty, next to the last row here, almost done. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick is, if I come in through, it'd be 1, 2, so these two. Let me double check on my picture one. Last one comes up through the last. Okay. I'm just going to put in a stopper ring and I'll just work to it so I don't have to keep counting it out. That's what I normally do with my bigger ones like this. I'll put in stoppers, and when it's one single color going up to it, I'll just put in a ring going. That's where I just work up to and then stop that color. Alrighty, give a quick check again around, see if I got anybody in anything over here. Looks like I got a couple viewers between them all. Like I said, they kind of give you a stat on that, but you don't know who they are, and sometimes they're slow stats or the accumulated stats. I'm not sure. Never really looked into that all that much to check on that, but I'm just like, if somebody shows up, good. I'm not going to be all crazy if not, you know. I'll try to promote it and get people to come watch us, but if you got other things going on, I understand. Think I'm boring? That's cool too. But if you think I'm boring and think I can improve on something, let me know. Like I said, I'll take criticism and try to make things better if at all possible. It's all up to kind of what you all want to see. If, you know, doing stuff you don't want to see, I'd rather do stuff you might like to see. I say it often, but, you know, should say goes without saying, but, you know, I like to let you know that I do appreciate everybody that does stop by. You know, I got some of the regulars that'll come in a couple times a week. And Janice has been here tonight. She was here last night too. John shows up a lot too. So, I mean, and Sean White over at Mailworks, he shows up from time to time too. I wish his streams would start back up. But he works over there at Mailworks. His streams are mail. He will do chainmail during streams, but his business is printed chainmail items. Shoes, shirts, bags, hats, all kinds of things. You should go check out his stuff over there. He's a good guy, and finally got my first shirt from him, waiting on it to come in. Should have got a couple more things at the same time, but I was like, I've been putting it off for a year. Every time I go there, I want so much stuff. It's like I load up the cart, and it's like I can't buy all this right now. So, I finally got the shirt in. Can't wait to get it. Probably going to get another shirt at some point. I want to get a couple of the puzzles. So, y'all go check out Sean's stuff over there at Mailworks. I would say check out Bracken Mail stream too, but he hasn't streamed in a little while also. Those are the two main streams I watch. There's a few others here and there that I'll catch, but those are the two that I was watching most time over the past good half year or so. But yeah, check out Bracken Mail. He's got some cool stuff. He does chainmail and sells chainmail. He does a lot of titanium anodizing and selling his special sponge rings that are sponge anodized and whatnot. I've done some of that myself, but you know, when certain people have their certain thing, I try not to get into doing their thing. In a way, it kind of holds me back on some things, but you know, Joshua Bracken, he's been a good guy for years. I've chatted with him. He's helped me out with a few things. It's like I don't want to start advertising and selling, you know, sponge anodized stuff, because that's kind of his niche. And you know, locally, at the Renaissance festivals, there's Amanda. She, what's the name of her? Amanda Chainmail, maybe? Chainmail by Amanda. I can't quite remember the name, but it was seeing her stuff again that really got me into wanting to do the business side of it. And there's some things that she does when it comes to dog tags that I love the idea of what she does. But I do kind of do the same thing in a way, but I don't go, she does comic book stuff, and I want to do comic book stuff because that's what she does. So I kind of do the same thing, but I'm more into music. So I do a lot of music stuff, you know, laser etched, or taking old sheet music and putting it on dog tags, kind of like they do with the comic book stuff. But like I said, I didn't want to kind of get into their stuff, especially somebody that I do look up to, you know. Quick check around, trying to make sure I do that a little more often. But this is next to the last row here. Got this one with two black ice at the end here to finish off that, and then we got one final row of just red all the way across, which will be coming next, and then it will be done. So where are we at? 47. So we'll go over an hour at least. That's good. It has taken me a little bit longer, like I said, on the stream here to do this, but set further back from it, so it does take a little bit longer per ring, just being further away. And then I double check to make sure I got a decent closure. I can get much quicker, better closures. I wouldn't say better. They end up being about the same, but I can do them quicker when I'm closer. I can see it more than having to feel. During a stream, I'm using a feel and seeing. When I'm not streaming, it's more look with a little feel, because I'm so much closer to it. Like I said, otherwise you'd just be watching the back of my head if I was doing it well, and it'd be in my lap for the most part. I'd move this down a good 8-10 inches, so I'm right on the edge of my desk for the most part working, so it's just right over me, or I'm right over it, the piece that I'm working on. Alright, so we got there. I needed one more black ice, one more red, and then we're on to the next row. So we're almost done. I'm probably getting out of camera view on my other view though. I did adjust my back camera here. I think I need to do a little more adjusting. Put on some extensions so I get a little higher and a little more over. I need to make a counterweight for it though. Tried to pull it over too far earlier and it wouldn't stand up. I was like, oh yeah, the weight, gravity. Those so-called things kind of... Alright, nice little group there. Boy, I might not have any rings actually left of this color to do too much else. I guess that's a good thing. Use them up and be done with them. And hopefully, I'm going to do one test. I'm just going to order one bag of them and make sure that they're the proper red before I I normally get 40 bags of red at a time because I do so much red work. But I don't want to order 40 bags and get 40 bags of this red because, like I said, I can't really use it if I want to do my chief stuff. It's just a little too off red. By itself, again, it's not too bad, but when I seem to mix it with some other things, especially any other red different sized rings that I have, just you can see the difference so much. Not so much in the camera, but in person. But that's about like everything, you know, you can try to take the best pictures you can, but all my stuff looks so much better in person than any picture or camera I can set up. I've gotten some good pictures, but it's just so much better in person. Plus you get the feel of it. If you've never felt chainmail, you'll have to stop by someplace that's doing chainmail and just feel chainmail. It's definitely cool when you get a big sheet like this, and it's just kind of cool. The feel of chainmail is just playing around with it. I love it. And like I was doing with the Chiefs inlay, the way you can move it around and just kind of tweak it. And there's a few videos during the Mahomes portrait one that I did that if you go back and find video, look for, I don't know what date it was, but I was about mid-project, right around his mouth and goatee area. I could pull the mouth area and do a stretch on it that just made him look so goofy. I laugh at it every time I see it. I think my daughter grabbed some screenshots of it because she wanted to share with some people because the way you could pull his mouth was just funny. It was just hilarious looking. And then I've got another one a little bit later after that where you could pull in and out, and so it was like you look like a chubby Mahomes to a skinny Mahomes. And if you're a Chiefs fan and been around town here, I don't know if you heard over the last day the super troll that Kelsey went on saying how to pronounce his last name, and all the talk that was done on that yesterday, on that interview he did, and then they got a hold of his mom to give him the right way and realize they've been trolled. And I kind of had that feeling, and I even told the wife that. I told her what was going on, and it's like, it just feels like he's just pulling a gag. That's the way he is. I can see it being a gag real easily, and that's what it turned out to be. So, but it was funny. I give him props for that. It turned out pretty good. I'm part of a lot of different Chiefs groups and stuff like that, and I mean, I live in Kansas City, so most of my friends are Chiefs fans. So everybody was posting that yesterday after it came up after that interview, saying to pronounce his name, was it Kelk or Kels? I'm not quite sure. I've seen it two different ways. When I was reading, when I was watching, it sounded like he said Kelk on the video, but it just seemed too weird that through all these years nothing would have been said about it. So I was like, he's just got to be playing. And sure enough, get a hold of Mom. Mom will always tell you, right? That's what I was kind of thinking. I was like, you just need to get a hold of another family member, see what they say. And Mom or Dad's the best place to go. So, we're about done here. Coming up on, we'll be just over an hour, I guess, probably by the time we show it off. Spend a little bit of time doing that. I would move into something else, but like I said, I won't have my rings done till Saturday for the next thing, so we'll probably have just the start of it going by next Thursday. So I'll get all the rings done, but then we'll start getting into our Monday and Wednesday project nights. So I normally don't work on any of my inlays or anything during that time. So I'll get a little start on it, but probably not a ton. So we'll kind of be picking it up when I get started. Gotten a little bit more done on my jelly cube. Not a ton. I think I got one more side finished off. Sides are definitely taking a lot longer per side now that it's getting bigger. I think I weighed it out again. I was at 3.8, 3.9 ounces. So I picked up another, quarter ounce in what I've worked on it so far again, but it'll get probably a good workout on the 31st at the event. That's what I plan on working on, unless, you know, if I gotta tweak sizes and do some sizing at the event for bracelets and stuff, I'll take away from it. But the rest of the time, that's all I planned on, kind of having out to work on while I was at that event. I always try to take a project to work on during an event, just so people can kind of see something coming together, see what it takes. But I always have, you know, sometimes during that where I'm chatting with people about things or showing off stuff or answering questions and whatnot. So I don't get 100% of the time worked on a project, but it's there, so I've got something out, something to do. So I figured jelly cube would be good for that, because I'll have my smaller jelly cubes there, and then this one's getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how big it will be, but I just plan on keep going and keep going. I don't know when I'll stop, actually. I'd like it to make it where I have to use two hands to make it do the jelly cube style dance. Instead of just rolling it in a hand, I want to have two hands on it. I joked with the wife, I was like, well, if I go for a couple years on it, maybe I can make a jelly cube chair. Jelly cube stool where I can sit on it and it'll just wiggle around on you. That'd be kind of fun. I'd hate that'd be so many rings, it'd be insane. Because I'm not even sure how many rings I'm up to now. Because if I'm up to 3 ounces, I've roughly estimated an ounce would be about 600 to 700 rings. So, I mean, there's not a ton in it yet, but when I get close done, I'll be able to do a ring count by just doing multiplication, you know. But I'll be able to figure it out. Last ring. And she's done. Let me get a good, best stretch I can get on it on the thing here. Decent anyway. Get those out of the way. So that's what we're doing. That's the bass clef inlay to go along with our treble clef inlay. Let me go ahead and get it going up here beside it. I don't know if I'll have to get it both in the camera views though. And the one, I guess it should. I'm trying to check my video here. Like I said, one of my screens it looks really good. One of my other screens not so good. So might be the screen you're looking on. It might look better or it could look worse. But I'm gonna grab that board. I'm gonna lay up a board over here. Let me go ahead and switch my screens around. Should be able to easily transition over to the side screen here. Still kind of got my older setup. Still need to fix it, but or my first trial setup, I guess I should say. Well, yeah, I need to do that too. Let me. Looking at just over the treble clef was 3 hours 50 minutes counting the top. The this one has about 120 more rings in it, I believe. Let me look here. We had 1,020 in this one. This was 920-ish. So we've got a little bit more rings in here. I had to use a little more on the top for the connector there. And this one took 4 hours and 20 minutes to finish up. So let me move my chair so I can walk over easier. Grab my whiteboard. Hopefully I can fit it in here. And I want to get a decent. Let's see if I can hold it this way. I'll have to kind of look at my other screen here. Oh, I guess I'm going to have to. Now that I look at it, see if I can zoom out any. That's in, dummy. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I'm probably going to show it backwards too, because I think I had my image flipped. Well, it should be okay. But I can't quite get it all on the screen. I hold it straight too. So that's what that is. Can't quite get it in there. Kind of see it in a way, but no, I'd have to do a little more oddly to try to get it on the other camera. This one should fit a little bit better though, the bass clef. Stretch it, almost get it, come on, you're almost there. But that's the bass clef. It came out pretty good. I'm kind of happy with that one. This one I had to make up myself. The treble clef was one I found years ago. Somebody had put it out there just to have it out there, and so I was able to use it as the bass and made it quick and easy. This one I did have to design my own graphic for, but it came out pretty well, I think. Probably could make a few little adjustments to it, but overall I like it. Oh, let me try to get that back over here. And that's why I need to have an area set up where I could just have a camera ready and just hang it. I could just go bloop, there, switch camera, there you go. Let's try to put them both out here again, see if I can get them both out here decent enough. And flip back over to our other camera view, so then you can see them a little bit better, a little wider. But that's two inlays we did last week and this week. I definitely like them. Be good to have at events, and I guess I should have this the right correct way, would probably help make it look more like a treble clef. I looked at the screen over here and it was like, that's backwards. Because some of my cameras I do have set on a rotate so that they come out and look better for viewing purposes, because they're at an odd angle or look upside down. So I've had to do manipulations to the program to show them. But that's the two we got done since last Thursday. Like I said, not big, but you know, still kind of cool. I've seen some people doing some like old 8-bit games from the old Super Nintendo 8-bits and Genesis games. Works out pretty good. Minecraft things would probably work good in this type of layout because of the way you have to build it as an inlay with rings. And you can, here, I wonder if I can, got a lot of things on this hook. This is my hook of mini starter pieces. I'm just going to have that there. But this is the one I was talking about earlier that, you know, that's as much as it wants to, it's so tight it won't fold over. Compared to this, you know, it'll just roll up into a ball. So this was a much tighter weave, and like I said, I had a screw up in it, so I ended up just starting over. I was doing it backwards, upside down, than the way I should have been doing it, and so it wasn't going to continue to work. But I'm glad I noticed here instead of more of the way through it. That would have kind of sucked, but I got a picture of it somewhere too, the finished one of it, proper size. But like I said, on this size, you cannot get in there and pull out a ring in the middle, because it's so, there's no real stretch to it either which way. You know, this you kind of got stretching, and then this you don't. And this, I mean, overall is about twice, it's about the same width. It was probably about that tall. It was more square, and it took about 10 hours. Used quite a few rings. I don't remember my ring counts on that or anything right off the bat, but so we're just over an hour, so I think we will go ahead and cut her short tonight. I hate cutting it short sometimes, but really, I mean, I've got my other projects sitting here that I could work on for Monday nights, but I try to keep Monday nights to only Monday night. Try not to work on it anytime other than Monday night because it's a medium project. Bow tie. So I think we're going to go ahead and close up tonight. I want to thank everybody who stopped in and checked us out either live or watching the stream later. I want to thank y'all. Yeah, it's great to have people show up and chat and all that. And definitely want to thank everybody that has ordered over the last several months. Past 3 months we've had a nice uptick in online sales. So, and you know, if you have any questions or you're looking at something you want it custom colored, different material, but you like a certain weave, just let us know. Drop us a line. More than happy to work with you and try to figure out what you're looking for and make that special piece for you. But I hope you all have a great weekend. If I don't see you on Saturday, we will be back next Monday night for Medium Project Night. So you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you later.